Hey, Rabbi.
How you doing,
I'm
David?
terrific. Where are you?
I am. Do you believe in serendipity?
Yeah, very
I,
much so.
I, Me too. I'm standing out here in the community basketball court because all the internet in my house went out, and so did the Wi-Fi. So here we are.
Nice.
So I get to be here with you on the court.
And now, are you in Israel?
I am in Israel. I'm in Jerusalem.
That is so beautiful. I love technology. On a basketball court in Jerusalem here. I'm in my closet in Orange County, California.
Doesn't get better than that.
It does not. Anyway, you have a book that inspired me, and it's called Discovering Depth, Joy, and Meaning. And it, to me, is very, I think, aligned with what I believe in, looking at things with the right lenses. That's what the book, the lessons for me that came about. And how do we not take the actual object, but instead utilize the right lenses in order to find the light, the love, and the lessons in everything, and lessen the resistance and the voids and the shortages in life. Uh, for you, I love the author intent. What was the intent for you of the book, and what lessons would you like to share?
I mean, for me, I think the lesson behind all my writing is about reconnecting to the truth of oneself. What I see, and with all the the students that I have and the clients that I work with, is people get so caught up in the external vision or the perception of how other people look at them. It's hard for them to really look past all that, to really experience who they are, their greatness, their talents, their abilities that have been given to them and what they can bring into the world. And that's not just true about how they perceive themselves, but it's also true about how they perceive the world around them. Right? I mean, those are the two, to me, those are the two most important things at any given moment, is how are you looking at yourself and how are you looking at your circumstances,
And
right?
the newness, because this is a Sukkah inspired book, I think, and the newness involved with a new pair of lens, with a new season. How do you share the idea of, I'm not a big fan of starting over. I believe we're an evolution, not a revolution, as human embodiments having a spiritual journey. For you, what's the significance for those people that may not even know what Sukkah is, of Sukkahs to the book?
Well, this particular book was really all about coming to appreciate all that has already happened in your life. And when you take the time to appreciate how you got to where you are, you can give yourself the space to be very present and dream about the future. I think dreaming is extremely important. Um, the idea of a sukkah, if we're speaking about that book, is, it's a time once a year where you actually walk away from your regular home. You spend 7 days literally camping out in some tent or hut that is temporary. And the idea behind moving into a temporary dwelling place is really about recognizing that this world is constantly changing. Like you said, the newness is good. It's all about having that revolution. So when I leave behind the concrete walls that I'm used to, and the concrete walls of your apartment, of your home, wherever you live, of your job, of your career, that's a metaphor for feeling that we're stuck in the concreteness of the way things have been till now. But when you go out and you spend time in a temporary dwelling place, you spend time in a tent, you go out into nature, you recognize this world is in constant flux, in constant change, and it gives an opportunity for a new inflection point every single year. So I think for me, that was maybe at the central point of the big idea.
And it is a really big idea. What I love is how you tie joy and meaning together, which is one of the key empowerment tools that I try to teach people, is to enjoy, to look within for the happiness, the consistent every day, persistent without quit, pursuit of our own potential, our own truth, our higher self, where we're connected to God. If we really had faith in what we were connected to, what at all times, if we truly had faith, if we didn't interfere with all of these ego-based types of thoughts, these illusions, but if we truly knew. And what I am on a journey of enjoying the meaning of that, and in order to enjoy meaning, I think you have to have a certain relationship with pain, mental, physical, spiritual, emotional, financial pain. uh, for me, it's an indicator. For you, how should we, as we're on this exploration of depth, joy, and meaning, how should we perceive and deal with pain in our lives?
So, I mean, pain, it's funny and it's amazing how the world works, right? That was what I was writing about all day. I had three conversations today. I had one person who about to go into back surgery, spent the last 2 years in the army, and before that was in jail, and he's calling me crying about the pain he's going through. And another person who's struggling with addiction, dealing with the pain he's going through. And it's just amazing because pain is not meant to be seen as evil, but something to embrace as part of the process. Meaning, when you can step into the pain, the moment you start to feel is the moment you start to heal. We spend so much of our life running from pain, and running towards pleasure, but so much of the time we actually are running towards just another substitute for one pain for another. And to actually look it in the face and to embrace that which is coming towards us is an opportunity. I like to think of it as like we need to roll with the punches, and that the punches of life, the pain of life, are reminders, opportunities, life lessons, and leading us in a direction that we couldn't have got to without them. So, that's
My quest started very pragmatically. In a very Jewish family where education was the extreme leader of empowerment to make sure the fetus was fully developed by going to graduate school and pursuing certain careers. But I didn't understand my faith. I didn't understand till later on. I still get choked up thinking about faith itself because people, sorry, they separate themselves with judgments because they don't know the totality. So we're scared because we don't know the totality. We don't know the oneness. We don't know God or if he exists. And so we get scared and we separate and we create resistance, attacks, judgments, and we destroy. It's like one branch of a tree fighting against another branch. And through my
exactly.
faith, that understanding, and I'm going to share a quick story I learned this weekend from writing my book called The Mentee Mentor with a young mentee. He told me the story. And so, there's a an old Jewish farmer and his son, and he can't farm the land anymore, and he has one horse. And the the young boy is the only one that can work the farm with the horse, and he's out, but he's too weak as a young man to work the farm. So the horse runs away, and all the neighbors come over. Oh no, Moshe, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? You only had one horse. You are already the poorest farmer. You can't work your own land, and your son, he's gonna have to do it by hand. What are you gonna do? He says with faith, we'll see. That's all. We'll see. Next day, the horse comes back with two wild horses. And now everyone in the community, oh my gosh, Moshe, you're so lucky. You're the luckiest man in the community. You have the most horses. You now can field not only yours, but also maybe help others. This is amazing. He says, we'll see. Sure enough, the young boy, as he's farming and helping, one of the wild horses bucks him off and he breaks his leg. Of course, the whole community comes back over. Oh no, you have no one to work the land. You're going to lose everything. You went from the richest to the poorest again. His answer, of course, we'll see. Then there's a war, and they come for his son to fight in the war. He can't go. That's it. Right? That's what people, they,
Ugh,
if, if they know,
it's everything.
right? It's everything. So how do we,
It's
through the
everything.
books of depth, joy, and meaning, through the exploration of lessons and love, of oneness together, how do we help articulate these stories? How do we help articulate people to look for what's equal to between us, what's connected to? Because we've got so advanced in society, we're taking the littlest things. I personally think in America, everyone's worried about a big uprising. I said there wouldn't be, because what they're fighting about is crumbs, right? They already got the steak and the potatoes. We're not fighting over freedom. They don't know what it's like to fight over freedom. These are intricacies of freedom that they're fighting, whether wear a mask or not, right? Whether to be told to wear a mask or not. That's not, you are going to be a slave, right? We're going to whip you and hurt you, like the Jews and the African American, many other people. This isn't uprising data. What can we do to help society understand this and come together instead of separate further?
David, I couldn't agree with you more. I think I tell people all the time, I feel like we live in the most blessed generation in history. And there's the unfortunate, negative perception of what's going on, and there's a lot of truth and validity to all of that, and that shouldn't be suppressed in any way. But there's also the other side of the coin, which is this is an amazing time in human history. Like you said, you're sitting in a closet, and I'm standing on a basketball court. We're totally different sides of the world, and we get to talk about freedom, and we get to talk about love and oneness and connection. And there's a lot of people who are going to gain and grow just through this conversation alone. I'm actually coming out with a new book this February that I'm very excited about, and the title of the book is "It's All the Same to Me."
I love that.
And that is really, for me, that is the answer. It is coming to the recognition that the only thing that's the same is beyond form, beyond appearance, beyond what's on the outside. It's beyond the mask, the skin color, the race, and the religion, because when you go on the inside, it really is all the same, and it should be all the same to me, to that experience. So uh, I think that's where it is. It's being able to let go of preconceived notions, of kind of like this false sense of a belief that so many of us maybe were given in our youth about how things are supposed to be, how they should be. And I think of should as a bad word, right? That's foul language. There's no such thing as should, because it is. And once it is, right, so now it's about being able to step into that, to accept that. And that's true with everybody we meet, because people are the way they are because that's how they were raised. And when you learn to look into the eyes of another human being and accept them and love them for all that they came here with, right? One of the first things it says in the beginning of the Torah is we're made in the image of God, and that's everybody, right? That's the whole experience. And so I don't care where you come from or what you're doing or what party you belong to or what your opinion is on the coronavirus. You're another human being that deserves the love and respect of the person that you're with. Um,
Sure.
and look, we'll see.
We'll see. I love that. Last question, real quickly. So I grew up very Jewish family. Still consider myself to be Jewish, of especially culture and demeanor. I believe myself, moreover, to be a good, kind person. Um, what do you say as a rabbi to someone like me that says, Rabbi, I have a problem with the dogmatic religion of Judaism because it separates within itself with conservatives and reforms and Orthodox and Hasidic and all of these different separations. And then moreover, it separates itself from all other religions and Christianity and Muslims and Buddhists and Mormons, and I don't believe in separateness. I know that Judaism doesn't believe in separateness. So why do we have dogmatic principles that separate us if we don't believe in separation? What do you say to me?
So I think I say the same thing that I would say to anybody asking about why was I born in Asia? Why was I born in Africa? Why was I born in this skin color? Why was I given this set of parents? There's a certain reality where on the outside we have differences, right? But it's external, right? And those external differences are that's where we landed, right? We all landed in these bodies with these set of parents and in the set of rules that we ended up in. And that's part of the journey, part of the growth is being able to look beyond all of this and find the godliness, find the sameness, find the beauty that exists within all of us. I think at the very end, um, all the separation and the dissonance that we experience between people, between religions, between faiths, um, that is part of the setup for us to grow and to find the connection of where we all fit in this amazing, beautiful puzzle, right? This is an amazing puzzle piece of the world. You have to have doctors and lawyers, and you have to have people in sports, and you have to have writers and creators and singers and songwriters, and you've got to have rabbis and priests, and you've got to have Kabbalists, and you've got to have people who are preaching A Course in Miracles. This is a whole tapestry of reality, and everybody has landed in that place, and that's part of the beauty. There's different trees, there's different animals, there's different everything. So yes, we're different on the outside, but we have to start looking beyond the outside. That's really the
You
answer.
cannot find outside of us what we can't find within. And I think that best encapsulates your beautiful vision of everything. And I suggest everyone read Discovering Depths of Joy and Meaning and your new book coming out. Thank you so much, Rabbi. Let's do this again. I really enjoyed having you on, and I appreciate all your wisdom and all that you do to unite everyone around the world. Thank you.
Amen. My pleasure.
Take care. Play some hoops now.
Take care, Dan.
Pick up a game real
Yeah.
quick. There you go. I bet Rabbi would make a better commissioner than LeBron James, but I'm just saying. Anyway, wow. Sorry to get so emotional, but I've been thinking about this. I had a late speech on Saturday night with my family, which was so meaningful. Wasn't it about, I had one of the biggest speeches with Inc. On Friday, and then there I was on Saturday night, emotional because it was my family and the values that and gratitude that I had for my family. I think go back and watch that. That's all I got to say. Anyway, I saw Scott Sargent here.